Hi, it's Khalid Khalil from Canada International Immigration Investor Services. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and a member of CICC, the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultant in Montreal, in Canada. Thank you very much for your great interest that for the advertising that we put in Africa, Asia, and also the Gulf. And there's basic information that anybody who's interested in immigration in Canada or study or work in Canada, this is a process. If you do not follow the process that we send you, then it's really very difficult to help you. And you need to fill those, whether it's the international student application form or the initial consultation form on our website in order for us to see if you qualify first or not. There is no point of paying money if you don't qualify. Once you fill those forms, we will be able to send you, information about our services, and then we can set up a meeting by video on Zoom or WhatsApp in order to discuss your file and eligibility. If you don't qualify for now, we can tell you what you need to do in order to qualify. It's really simple. And we also, please don't send your document by WhatsApp because this is really not a very productive exercise. If you do not follow the process, we don't know who you are, your qualification, your spouse qualification. It's very difficult to give you an opinion. Canadian immigration is based on points for education, health, education, language ability, English or French, experience, relatives, if you have relatives or connections into Canada or experience in Canada. There's multiple things. If you just tell me, well, I'm a truck driver, okay, that's a great, there's jobs for truck drivers and hospitality industry. There's a big demands for them here in Canada. But you need to do the LMIA, we need to do the work permit, you need to see if you qualify. For a work permit, you don't, it's not required, to have IELTS 7 or so. But obviously, if you do not speak English, you have no chance at all, or French, you have no chance whatsoever in getting a job because no Canadian employer is going to hire somebody who they cannot speak English or French. It's basic knowledge. It's not like the working or laborers in the Gulf countries where people can get by knowing a few words. It's quite different here in Canada because people who come and work in Canada eventually they get invited by under the express entry system to apply for permanent residency. So if you do not, even if it's not required right now to do a language test, but if you don't have the ability to speak English or French, you're not going to get a job offer. And unfortunately, a lot of people, contact us and they send us letters that they have got a job offer and they pay like $200 or $300. And if you even yourself have doubts the genuineness of these documents, then you should really go with your gut feelings. It's not our duty to tell people if this is genuine or not. Or our job is to give you immigration consulting services in order to see if you qualify and if you are interested in our services. And you have to sign a retainer agreement and a use of representative form, and also pay the deposits normally. And the fees are paid based on stages, and the agreement that we sign with the client in order for us to know our obligation and your obligation, a specific mandate for us. It's not a very general like people think. This is Canadian immigration is very specific process you have to go through. There's multiple programs, each one have requirement, and you need to follow those in order if you are serious on following up. So this is the best way to do. And also when you fill those online forms, you can go and be updated on any email chat that we send to our client, updates that regularly happen in Canadian immigration. Or for recently, like the students were allowed to work more than 20 hours a week. This is a great benefit for international students because of the labor shortages here in Canada because of the pandemic. So this is, we're trying to explain to you that when we put an advertisement that you need to follow these instructions for you to get help. We are licensed by CIC, the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultant in Canada. And we follow a very strict code of ethics, but normally we need to make sure that the people are serious as well too. Many people tell us, oh well, we pay you when we get the visa. That doesn't work at all, because there is fees that have to be paid for the government. It's a process that it takes minimum 6 months to even more than 1 year. No licensed Canadian immigration firm will work on these terms. But there's people who are interested in applying by themselves. You don't even it's not an obligation by law to use a lawyer or an immigration consultant. You can apply by yourself. But obviously, the advantage when you're using an office like our office, who's regulated, who's licensed and either updated on the firm. Basically, I think you will save yourself a lot of time and hassle. And that's the advantage. We know the rules. I've lived in Canada for 33 years. There's certain things that it will be a real plus, and also to help you to settle once you're here in Canada. If there is something come up, we can advise you. So that's really important and obviously we have to follow. We apply and we help you within the parameters of Canadian immigration law and the regulation. We cannot basically do anything outside of these rules. But people who are qualified or experienced, for people who are are interested in working candidates, of course, you need to certain jobs. You need to have a high level of English and French language, and it's a really good idea for you to do the English and or French language test based where you want to settle in Canada, because if you wanted to settle in Quebec, you really need to speak French. It's a must, as well as doing also the education equivalency in order for you to get the points. So we help you to do all this. It's part of the service that we offer. Anyways, I think that the key message here is that you really need to follow the instruction in order for us to be able to help you. You can communicate with us by email at info@canadainternational.com, and we encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because you get a lot of updates. For anybody who is subscribed, automatically you will receive a note about the different update on Canadian immigration law, whether it's study in Canada, immigrate to Canada, work in Canada, or invest in Canada. CanadaInternational.com. Join us and see how the best is done.